Hello and happy morning. This morning I'm about to eat some food. I've got 4 of our chickens' eggs, so they're gonna be medium or slightly smaller in size, and 2 Teton sausages with a piece of bacon wrapped around them. This is gonna be delicious. We are getting back to the beef, butter, bacon, and eggs challenge after going off plan for the weekend due to emotional circumstances and also having a family gathering where there was a lot of off-plan food around and the opportunity to enjoy some foods that I very rarely get to have, like burgoo and barbecue. I'm gonna eat this for breakfast. It is about 10 till 11. The plan for today is grocery store to stock up on foods that we're gonna be using for meals this week and get some of those meals started. So we'll have grocery haul videos and cook with me videos. If you're wondering why you never see me having beef in my grocery hauls, it's because we bought a half a cow to split with a family member a month or 2 ago. We are getting low on that, but contemplating if we want to do it again. The price has gone up a lot. We probably will do it, but it is a very large upfront cost. The average weight or the average cost per pound on this last cow that we got was about $6.50 a pound, where in the past it's been about $4.50 a pound once it's been all processed. It's nice having a freezer that is completely stocked full of beef all the time. It's just getting harder to pay, I think, for the half of a cow, and it was a pretty large cow, but I think the cost was like $1,800 and something, and that was for about 270 something pounds of meat. So it's getting harder to pay that much all at once, but you just have to take into consideration how much beef do you eat and how much, if you mostly eat just ground beef or maybe like some stew meats or something like that, it may not be worth it. But if you do enjoy having like the steaks and the brisket and things that are gonna be higher than that $6.50, then it's probably worth it. I will be returning to the gym today. I did not work out over the weekend. I had expected to be doing a lot of hiking and things over the weekend, and by the time I got to where my family reunion was, there just wasn't really enough time to do that. So today is going to be a back and biceps day. We woke up late this morning, so we have not we have not taken our dog for his walk yet today, so I'm planning on doing that. It'll just be a little bit later than usual. And what else? I think that's about it, so I will see you a little bit later for my next meal. Today's workout was back and biceps, and I think I accidentally deleted the footage, so it is not in here today. For dinner on Monday evening, I had the carnivore chili from Chris Cook's Nashville. For my first meal today, I had the carnivore chili again, but I cooked some bacon until it was very crispy and crumbled it up in the chili like crackers, and it gave a nice additional texture to it and was very tasty.
Pulling me closer, oh, I gotta stay away, but you won't let me. No one
We still had a lot of this barbacoa left over, so for dinner that night I had leftovers. It just didn't seem to be hitting the way it usually does. Wednesday morning I had a couple of pieces of bacon and 4 of our backyard chicken eggs cooked over medium. I guess I was really bad at accidentally deleting footage this week, so the bench press exercise is missing from my chest and triceps workout. Can you eat low carb, keto, ketovore, carnivore, or beef, bacon, butter, and eggs while you're at a food festival? Yes, you can. Here I had a ribeye sandwich. I just threw the bread away. I had a pulled pork sandwich without the bread. And then I had a smoked sausage that was a half of a foot-long sausage, which it probably had some fillers or a little bit of sugar in it, but overall I did pretty well. This is going to be a familiar sight this week. Again, eggs and 4 pieces of bacon. Hi there, it is Wednesday lunchtime and I am about to eat. Today for my second meal, I'm going to be having 3 1/3 pound burger patties. You may notice that I had 3 meals yesterday and I am starting a challenge of sorts or a program, whatever you want to call it. It is the Steak and Butter Gang 30-day carnivore challenge, which I'm already doing beef, butter, bacon, and eggs, so that's not going to be too difficult. But the general concept of this challenge is for the first 2 weeks, you eat an insane amount of food and eat 3 meals a day. Basically not allowed to be hungry at all. If you start to think you're hungry, then you go ahead and eat, which is going to be a challenge in itself. But after the 2 weeks, the group starts to do progressively more challenging fasts. So it starts off with intermittent fasting, which is what I'm used to doing, 2 meals a day. Then you go to 1 meal a day, 4 a day, and then you go back to 2 meals a day. Then you start to do, I think they do like rolling 48s for the last week or so of the challenge. So what that is it's a 48-hour fast, then you have 1 huge meal, and then you do another 48-hour fast immediately after. And that's just for a couple of days at the end of the month. I've been wanting to implement a couple of fasting days, and I thought this would be one way that I could work up to that, and plus have some accountability and have a group of support while I'm changing some things about the way that I'm eating. What is not changing is I will be doing beef, butter, bacon, and eggs. I will still be having my daily coffee, but instead of having it first thing in the morning as my breakfast, I will be having it immediately after breakfast. So today is kind of a rough day for me. You may remember from mentioning it on previous videos that I'm currently not employed as a nurse practitioner, but I am searching, and it can be a very frustrating thing because this area, and probably a lot of areas, is saturated with nurse practitioners. So employers can be very picky and choosy about who they hire. So it's a difficult process for me. I'm coming up on 2 months almost of not having a job. and my previous job had actually closed its doors, so it is not an option to go back to that employer. It's a nasty day. I've been feeling pretty crappy. Fortunately, it is a rest day, or maybe unfortunately, because if I had a workout to do, I could force myself to get out and about and do something. As it is, I had planned on doing my sprinting, my HIIT workout today, which I may go to the gym later and try to do it on a treadmill, which I don't really want to do, but it is rainy and nasty. And so what I have been doing other than moping around the house is working on renewing all of my nursing and nurse practitioner and controlled substance certifications every odd year in this state. Nurses and nurse practitioners have to renew their certifications, and nurse practitioners have to do continuing education credits. Fortunately, since I've been a nurse practitioner for more than a year but less than 2 years, I only have to do half the amount of credits. So I'm working on that today and renewing my licenses, and of course applying for jobs. And there is this one job, a private family group in the area. Their business model is actually a direct primary care model. So that's where patients pay like a subscription basically, and they get to go to that provider as often as they need to or want to. So the practice is very motivated to get their patients healthy so that they're still getting that subscription fee, but the patients aren't coming in as often. So good motivation there to really help the patients, whereas most of our current healthcare models are the provider benefits if the patient is sicker. So the more meds you put them on, the more tests you order, the more procedures you have to do, the more money that physician makes, which is completely backwards in my opinion and a lot of people's opinions. So really right now, one of the few things that is going right now is that I am sticking to my planned diet for now and sticking to my workouts as well. For this week, I don't plan on posting a progress photo, and it's also not a check-in week for the holiday transformation challenge. I've already got like 5 or 6 weeks of progress photos, so I'm probably going to start doing those every other week just to kind of save on data and disk space and things like that. And plus it's starting to get to where you're not noticing as much of a difference from week to week. So I'm gonna eat my patties. A little bit later, I'll be going to do my HIIT workout, probably at the gym because it is very wet outside. And whatever we end up doing for supper, I will show that to you later. Here is dinner tonight, the last little bit of the chili and some bacon. Not a whole lot. We'll see if it fills me up. If not, we have some hamburger patties that I can snack on. This is what we got going on for tomorrow night. We got 2 club steaks and a little sirloin steak. This is for my son. And then thawing out more ground beef, of course. Egg patties are one of my favorite things to breakfast meal prep. It's super easy to do, and I have that in my next Cook With Me video. They make really convenient egg witches if you're low carb, but my son can also heat them up and put it on his own breakfast sandwiches in the morning too. So here I just have a total of 4 eggs, 2 sausage patties, and I only had enough bacon for 1 sandwich. Normally I would put a slice of cheese on this too.
Sorry, somehow I did it again. My back day workout is missing my seated rows.
And no one makes me feel like you do. And no one sets my body on fire. No one gives me shivers like you. Oh, no one does it.
Hi there, I am sitting down for some lunch. It is about noon on Friday. I made another batch of the Chris Cook's Nashville Carnivore chili. Last time his instructions said to use egg yolks, and I really didn't like throwing the egg whites away. And when I save things to use later, I tend to not ever use them. So I thought I would try it with whole eggs. I did kind of rush through tempering the eggs, so some of the eggs got a little bit cooked, but it doesn't really make any difference in the taste or the consistency. I don't think that the chili turned out as thick. If you hear something that sounds like a cat dying, that's my chickens in the backyard. I got my windows open today because it is a beautiful day. So I'm gonna enjoy this. I don't have any bacon. I ate the last of it for breakfast, and today is going to be a short little grocery day, so I'm gonna have to get some more bacon, but that was really good crumbled up in there. I might get some plain pork rinds. I think we have some old ones in the pantry, but they may be stale. So I don't know. This is pretty delicious on its own. I made sure to put plenty of extra salt in it this time because I was having to add salt to taste whenever I got a bowl. So I had put a lot of salt in there and it tastes great. On another note, a little update in the Holiday Transformation Challenge. Yesterday was the last day to do the weigh-in, the first repeat weigh-in for points. So at the end of the day, I checked the leaderboards and somebody passed me up. Actually, a couple of people passed me up. So my point total was at 31 point something, and somebody actually did double the points. So just a refresher in case you aren't sure, for every pound of body fat you lose, you get 10 points. And for every pound of muscle mass gained, you get 10 points as measured by the in-body scan. So it is not perfect. So I had 31 something, and I think the highest one was like 64 points. So I'm really hoping this is somebody that just started working out and lifting weights and just kind of had a fast weight drop or muscle gain in their first week, and hopefully I'll catch up to them. Of course, they waited until the last day to do it, so it gave them a little bit of almost a full extra week to make progress. But in the end, it's not going to matter from week to week on the check-in whether you did on the first of the time frame or the end of the time frame, because what's really going to matter is what your point total is going to be at the end of the challenge. So looking forward to that. I like to go first the first day because the progress motivates me through the rest of the time, just like taking progress photos can motivate you to keep going in your fitness and health journey. So I'm gonna eat this chili if it's cooled off finally, and then we are gonna go do a little grocery run.
Friday for dinner, we had steaks, and here is mine. Saturday morning, I had bacon and eggs. Again, big surprise, but this time I scrambled them, and for some reason they really moist. I prefer my eggs to be more fluffy, so they weren't my greatest attempt at scrambled eggs. I am pretty excited. We are going to be converting our storage shed
into a chicken coop. So just finished cleaning out a whole bunch of crap that was in there and swept it out. We're going to be putting a dividing wall about halfway in and cutting a door, and I'll be putting an automatic door for the chickens, and they'll have a nice cozy place to stay in the winter. Now we're in southern Indiana, and we have heat lamps, but we'll probably add in some insulation at some point, so that's exciting.
Speak of the devil, my husband heard me talking about the automatic chicken coop door, and he said, your birthday present is supposed to be arriving today. Don't buy anything yet. So this is part of my birthday present. Hi, so I am at the gym now. I was so close to not coming today. I don't know what it has been about this weekend, but I haven't wanted to do anything and have not gotten much stuff done at all. Don't think I've cooked anything. Don't think I've cleaned anything. The best I could do is start some laundry. Anyways, it is leg day. I was so close to not coming to the gym, and then I just did. I don't know. What do you do when you don't want to work out? Do you listen to motivational tapes or videos or podcasts or music? Do you remember your why? Or do you, I don't know. What do you do to get yourself to the gym when you don't want to work out? For me, motivation kind of stopped working. Sometimes it still works. I still like to watch motivational videos and things like that on YouTube. Listen to music that's really upbeat and gets me going. Podcasts, yeah, that's great. But those things just stop working for a while. And then what do you do when the motivation isn't motivating you? A lot of times I really just try to develop habits. So you just do the thing, like brushing your teeth. You don't think about, oh gosh, I gotta brush my teeth, but I don't feel like doing it. You just do it because that's what you just do. I don't know, things like that. So that is usually what ends up getting me to the gym or getting me to eat healthy. Like, the less I think about it, the better. So I just do it. And sometimes that doesn't work either. So I don't know. There's a bunch of different things you can use. Speaking of eating, I did not record dinner yesterday. My husband and I went to a Mexican restaurant. We had our usual giant fajita that we split. So not a carnivore meal or beef, butter, bacon, and eggs meal. I did have some chips and salsa. Not gonna lie, no regrets. And then today, the only meal that I've had today, I had my normal coffee. I haven't been doing the butter and egg coffee. I actually have been using my stevia drops, so shh, don't tell anybody. But I don't want to put stuff in my coffee. And also, I don't want to wait until like a meal time to have my coffee either. I want to have my coffee. It is my breakfast. It's breakfast. Black coffee with some stevia drops. Today we went to a Latin American festival that they have every year. My husband's pretty big into like Spanish language Mexican language and culture, Latin American. So he wanted to go to that. They had a lot of music and there's a lot of food. It's a food festival basically. So I had a giant thing of nachos. Yes, it had some tortillas in it. Again, no regrets, but it was huge. It's probably going to be the only meal that I have today because I'm still full and it was kind of early afternoon. Oh yeah, also I had one bite of his Mexican street corn just because I've never had it before, and it was corn. I don't know. Anyway, so I'm about to go knock out this leg day. I don't want to work out, but the gym is always very empty on Sunday afternoons. This is going to close out my week. because I'm probably not going to have any dinner. Like I said, I'm very full from this huge thing of, it was steak nachos. It was really good. And this will wrap up week 3 of the Transformation Challenge. I'm excited for next week because it's going to be weigh-in week and progress photo week, and I'm really hoping that we can see some changes and that I can move up in my rank again because somebody snuck by me. I think they're cheating. So yeah, here comes footage from my workout.
Oh, no one does it There you go again, looking so handsome. Oh, you have your way, and it's making me weaken. You and your stardust, walking like that. Sweet to get into.
Tell me you had a good leg day without telling me you had a good leg day.
Though I try to fight this, and no one makes me feel like you do, and no one sets my body on fire, and no one gives me shivers like you. Oh, no one does it better. How I try to sleep, but you're deep in my mind. Got a hold of me. When I'm awake, I'm all blind. You and your magic, like infinite power. God knows I try to resist, but you're pulling me closer. Oh, I gotta stay away, but you won't let me. No one makes me feel like you do.